And we
And we
are live on another edition of Wits and Wagers, December 7th, 2023. The panel is all back in here. Let's start with the birthday boy yesterday, Mr. Joey Clams. Happy birthday, buddy.
How you doing? I want to thank all the crooks and the degenerates from the K&K show for the happy birthday wishes and everybody out there. How you doing? Let's go start the engines. It's post time, fellas. Let's go. This game's going on right now.
Let's go. Let's go. Mr. Carson Shear, the one and only.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Joey, happy birthday again, buddy. And yeah, ready to rock and roll.
Last but not least, Mr. Kenneth Kirkpatrick. How are you?
Yeah, Joe, happy 40th birthday to you. And, like you
41st.
said, I'm expecting a couple of phone calls during the
41st.
show, some live action. I'm expecting it, and give us some updates when you get those calls. But, yeah, I'm ready to get this ball rolling. We got a lot of NFL this week. We threw in some basketball and a little bit of college football, maybe some prop bets later on if we have time. But that being said, I'm going to pass it off to the guy who does the greatest breakdowns of the games on earth, and that's Carson. So we're going to pass it off to you, Carson, to get the show started.
Cool. Yeah, thanks, Kenny. Are we doing the first NBA game or are we skipping that?
We'll skip the first one since it started. The updated
Okay.
score right now is 36-34. Updated line is 2.5. If anybody wants to throw a live bet in, that's the odds I got right now on that game.
Carson, real quick, I just want to give a shout out.
36-34.
Real quick, Michael Ronquillo is saying, good evening, guys. What's up, Michael? Thanks for joining.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Michael. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Good to see you.
Yeah, so the in-season tournament, it's the semifinals right now. So Pacers and Bucks are going on right now. Just rapid fire. Who do you guys like in that game? Pacers are they're up 7 right now, Kenny. So I'm looking at it's almost the end of the first half. So
yep, I didn't update that.
Kurt, who do you like?
You said me, Carson?
Yeah, really quick.
I'm still gonna go with the Bucks.
Mm-hmm. Joey.
I go Pacers.
And Kenny.
I'll take the Bucks.
I'll go with the Bucks as well. Second game hasn't started yet. It'll come after this one. The Pelicans and the Lakers. The Lakers are a 2.5-point favorite, Joey.
And the total is 231.5. I'm going under. That's a play on the 231.5 in the total game. And give me the Lakers here.
Kenny.
Pelicans have been a nice story. They're deep. I think they got a deeper bench than the Lakers. I'm going to take the slight upset here. I'm going to take the Pelicans.
Kurt.
I'm going to go the opposite way, Carson. I think this means a little more to LeBron and AD and, something for LeBron to have on his resume. I'm going to take the Lakers.
I'll go with the Lakers as well. We got an interesting college football game. Probably biggest rivalry in all of sports. You got Army and Navy. Army right now is a minus 3.5-point favorite. Kurt.
I'm going to go Army. They started off bad. I think they had a loss to UMass at one point, but they turned it around. They beat up on Air Force when Air Force was, I believe, I'm not sure if they were undefeated or one-loss Air Force team. And I'm going to take Army. It's going to be nice, right? 52 degrees. I know the over-under is like 27.5, that's low, and no people are still going to go under. But I'm going to go with Army in this one.
Joey.
Yeah, I mean, I had Army this year, I think, a couple of times, and I got beat by them. I had them against UMass. They had a -7. They went up to a 9-point favorite, and we still lost. Yeah, give me the Black Knights from West Point.
Kenny, what do you got?
I'm going to go Joey's route here. I'm going to take the over in the total. You always see the Army and Navy recruits always doing a lot of push-ups, and I don't see it being a 6-3 game. I see a lot of things happening here, a little more scoring than I think the Vegas is putting it at. So I'm going to take the over, but as a play, I'm going to go Army as well. I think they can get into the 20s, and Navy will be in the teens in this game.
Yeah, I'll also go Army with you as well, guys, to lay the points. That is pretty much it. We're going to move right into NFL. We got pretty much the entire slate of games we're going to cover, guys, because, pretty much college football is done, and we gave you guys the NBA game. So we got the entire NFL slate, and then we got a couple fun questions. We got NFL MVP, comeback player of the year, and then we'll round it off with who do we think our college football playoff champion is. So first game on the list we have here is we got tonight Patriots and the Steelers. Pittsburgh is a -5-point favorite at home. Kurt.
I'm going to take New England. Again, a lot of my bets this week, I'll be honest, I don't like betting now because I have to root for certain things for the Broncos. So the Broncos come first.
You got to separate that stuff.
No. There will
Separate.
be no bet. The Broncos come first in my sports. So if I don't either bet it or I root against them. So tonight I start. I'm taking New England. I need Pittsburgh to lose. Give me the points with New England.
Kenny.
Yeah, first off, graphics thanks to Fathead. We got Fathead's graphics
Nice.
up
You
there
did a great
today.
job, Kenny.
Nice job, Kenny.
And just wanted to shout out them because these are pretty cool graphics, I got to say. I'm going to take New England, and I'm going to throw a tiny bit of pizza money on just a plain cheese pizza, Joe. Money line on the Patriots to win this game. I think Mitchell Trubisky at quarterback, I could see him making some mistakes, and I could see the Patriots squeaking out an ugly one around 17-13, right around where the total is.
Joey, who you taking?
I'm on the Pats. I already sent it to you. We're on there plus the 6 with the Patriots. I'll take the Pats plus the 5 for the show, but I'm on the under 30.5 in this game.
Yeah, I'm also on the Patriots as well, plus the points. We got another interesting game moving right along here. We have the Rams going to Baltimore. Baltimore is a -7.5-point favorite at home. Joey.
Yeah, we missed the 6.5, but we got the 7 out there. We put it out there at -7 with the Ravens. And for the show, I'll lay the 7.5 with the Ravens. This is a strong play over here for us.
Kenny.
I might take the Rams, but Joey, I think, is kind of selling me on the Ravens. But the Rams are playing for a lot, and they're hot right now. I know when they come to the East Coast, they lay an egg sometimes, but I see them covering this spread and maybe losing a close one. So I'll take the 7.5 here with the Rams.
And Kurt.
Listen, I'm going with the Rams, Carson. We talked about this last night, that this is a dangerous team, man, and I can get over a touchdown with them. I'm going to take the Rams plus the points.
Yeah, I don't like this number that's 7.5 right now. So just for that line, I'll go with the Rams plus the points. But like, Joey and I are already on it. If you can buy it down to 6.5, I would go towards the Ravens. We got another one here. We have the Texans going to Joey's Jets. The Texans are a -3.5-point favorite on the road, Kurt.
I'm taking the Jets. Zach Wilson back. You got the defense. Again, I don't know if they win, but Houston coming, early start here in New York. Bad weather, right? So CJ Stroud, the passing game's probably going to not be that big, supposed to be windy, rainy. Jets got a better run game. Jets got a better defense. I'm going to take the Jets plus the points. I don't know if they win, but I'll take the points with them.
Kenny.
How many chances is Zach Wilson going to get? I mean, we thought the last 2 chances he had was it, but now he's got another chance. And you know what? For the show, I'm going to take the Jets, but I'm not putting a penny on this game. But for the show, I'll take the Jets just for fun, and hopefully it goes in my standings as a win. But I'll take the Jets at home here.
Joey, who do you got?
You missed the boat with it because they were +6 on Monday. The Houston's banged up pretty bad, limping in here. It's going to be a bad weather game. You know what? I mean, for the show, and this is only for what you call chips money over here. I'll take the Jets plus the 3.5.
I'll lay it with the Texans as well here. Like Kenny said, Zach Wilson, wish him the best, but he's just in a tough situation right now in New York. So I'll go with the red hot Texans. We got my boys up next. Lions are going to Chicago. Lions are a -3.5-point favorite on the road. Kenny.
This one's tough, Carson. I think your Lions will get the win, but I could see this being right around that field goal. I'm going to take your Lions. I'm going to take them but not confident in that at all. But if I had to pick, I'll take the Lions in this one.
Kurt.
I'm going to go with your Lions too. Again, I just so think it's a. I know they played them tough in Detroit and all that stuff, but I can't put any money on the Bears. I'll take the Lions.
Joey.
This home dog surface change, weather, and isn't it you what's his name? Kuzakiyama. I used to go out there. Angelone.
Anzalone, yeah.
Yeah, he's that Mike, the green light guy in the defense, and their secondary is their defense is not good. You know what? Give me the Bears at home plus the 3.5.
Yeah, again, we barely got by the skin of our teeth last time we played this team. Again, I'll go with the Lions money line, but again, this defense against running mobile quarterbacks is an absolute nightmare. So for the show, I'll go with the Bears plus 3.5, but I'll go Lions money line. We have another interesting one. Buccaneers are going to Atlanta, the leading division leader, Falcons in their division. They're hosting the Bucs, and the Falcons are laying 2.5 at home. Kurt.
Real quick, our good friend and co-host of K&K, Ryan Scoop Williams, is saying, Clamsy, I don't know if you've seen my message, but happy birthday, I believe he's saying. I don't know what he's saying, but other words here. Paisan. So he's saying happy birthday, and then he's saying, Kenny, the graphics look crisp. So that's from our good friend Scoops.
Thanks.
Thank
and
you,
we hope you
Spider.
did well. Hope Scoops had some exams yesterday. Hope you did well on them, bud.
Give somebody $500 to take the test for you. That's everybody got the shit. Everybody, all my friends are working down Wall Street. $500 they passed the test. Anthony Pasegli, it was his name, and it was an Asian kid was taking the test.
I'm going Atlanta. I like them at home. I think they're a different team at home. Carson, I'm going to go. I'll go Falcons.
Kenny.
I'm with Kurt. I'm going to take the Falcons as well. I think they may have had some rejuvenation. They're in a division race there with the Saints, and so is the Bucs. But Falcons at home, they're tough, and I think they'll pull out this win comfortably. And it's one of my more confident bets this week. So I like the Falcons a lot in this one.
Joey.
Yeah, every game, it doesn't seem like the Falcons, it's wherever they're 2.5 dogs or 2.5 favorite in this division. You know what? I'll go with the home team in this spot here just for the show. Later 2.5.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna go Bucs just to be different. I'll get 2.5 with them. Baker could randomly surprise people out of nowhere and have a phenomenal game, so I'll go Baker on the road. We have another one here. We got the abysmal Panthers, the first team that's officially eliminated from the postseason. They are going to the Saints. The Saints are a minus 4.5 point favorite at home. Joey.
Jesus, wow. You know what? Just for the show, give me the dog. When in doubt, take the points.
Kurt.
I'm not taking points with the Panthers, but I'm not giving any points with the Saints. If I was to bet this, I'm going to money line the Saints, but I'm not touching this with Clams' money. No way. No interest.
Kenny.
I'll tell you what, the Panthers may have one thing that's going for them. They got the best fat head there so far. That Panthers pretty crisp, like Scoops used the word crisp. I got to take the Saints. I'm not seeing anything promising in the Panthers. Saints are home. I think the Saints are playing for a lot more, like I just said with the Falcons. I got to take the Saints here by at least a touchdown.
Hey, I lost you. Do you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah,
we're back.
We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Saints, Carson. I think they're going by a touchdown.
Yeah, I'll go with the Panthers plus 4.5. I mean, they looked competitive in their game last week against the Bucs. They lost by 3. I think, like I said, got a new interim head coach while they find their new next coach. I think they got nothing to lose really, so I think they'll cover the spread here. I'm going to go Panthers. You got this one. This is an interesting game. This is pretty much a pick 'em. The Colts are going to Cincinnati. The Bengals are a minus 1.5 point favorite at home. Kurt.
Ooh. Bengals
Carter,
are,
get the total. Get the total up in this game.
Bengals are minus 1.5.
Yeah.
I'm going to take.
I got it, Carson. I'll get it for him.
Yep. Total's 43.5.
You know what? I'm going to take them. Impressed with them. At home. Browning had a nice little game at Jacksonville. I think, again, their defense will keep them in this game. I think, between Chase and Mixon and those guys, they make a big play. I'll go Cincinnati in this one.
Joey.
Yeah, I'll go with the Bengals. You can see that they throwing the ball out, and the play here is over the 43.5. There's going to be points scored in this game. Go over in this game 43.5.
And Kenny.
I'm agreeing with Kurt a lot tonight. I'm going Bengals as well. Browning showed me a lot there in Jacksonville. Now they're home. I think this could be the week that the Colts lay an egg. And I think the Bengals take them by at the very least, a field goal, but more in like the 6 to 7 point range here. So another confident bet for me is the Bengals here.
I'm going to go with the Colts, 1.5. Colts have been shocking a lot of people this year. I mean, they've dealt with a bunch of injuries. They won in overtime last week. I think Pittman's legit. Minshew mania. He's getting the job done. Again, they're sitting comfortably in the playoffs right now. So I'm going to go with the Colts here, plus 1.5. I think they might outright upset them too.
Real quick, Carson, Scoops is saying, Kenny and I agreeing with Kurt too much this week. What the blank is this?
Yeah. We are.
We'll see what happens on Sunday. We got another one. This is interesting. The 49ers are hosting the Seahawks. The 49ers are at home, and they are laying 10.5 in this game, Kurt.
This is a lot of points. Again, I'm not laying it. But Geno Smith on the road against this defense, man. Screw it. Lay it. I got to take the. I can't bet. But when I said to you on this show, when I saw them just absolutely annihilate the Jaguars, and by the way, Scoops, we'll get into your team later, but forget that NFC's over. Forget that with the Philadelphia. Whoop, you're playing for. You're not playing with them anymore. Give me Niners.
Kenny.
I'm going to take the Seahawks, Carson. This will be one I disagree with Kurt, even though I see the gold football there on the 49er fathead. I'm going Seahawks. They played the Cowboys pretty tough most of that game last Monday night, or Thursday, I should say. And San Francisco coming back from the East, back to the West. San Fran's going to win this game, but by about 7 or 8 points. So give me the double-digit underdog here in the Seahawks.
Joey.
What are you using 11.5?
It's turned 10.5 right now with the 49ers.
10.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to lay it with the 49ers. I think they're going to be too physical for Seattle in this game, and they're going to get to Geno. They're going to pressure him and get to him. And when they get on the offense, they're just going to roll down there. Probably won't even maybe punt once or twice in this game, and they win by 2 touchdowns here.
Yeah, I'm with you, Joey. I mean, they destroyed the Eagles, and they have the best record in the NFC right now, and they won by 3 scores, and now they're coming home 10.5 with the Seahawks. I think they lay it as well. I'm going to go 49ers here too. Another one we got here: the Vikings are going to Las Vegas. And the Raiders are a 3-point underdog at home. Justin Jefferson is back for the Vikings. Kurt.
Give me Minnesota. Justin Jefferson at home. Dobbs is starting, I believe, again, right? Dobbs has got one more week. Bigger game maybe for Minnesota. I mean, the Raiders are technically still alive. I'll take Minnesota.
Kenny.
I'm going to go Vegas here. Outright upset special. Playing well at home against the Jets and Giants, and they went on the road, laid a couple eggs, but now they're back home against a Vikings team that I know they're getting Jefferson back, but struggle with Dobbs at quarterback. I mean, we all seen it, all the interceptions he thrown. So get Vegas at home as a home underdog. I'll take Vegas. And like Joey says, the turf to grass surface change as well.
Joey.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the purple people eaters here, the Vikings. Carson, they got an underrated defense. They've been playing pretty good this year. And Jefferson is back. Hopefully Dobbs doesn't turn the ball over. That's the key, Kurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm big play here on the Vikings for me.
I'm going to agree with Kenny. Raiders are coming off a bye week as well, and they're home, and 3 points with them. I'm going to take the Raiders +3 and maybe a little on the money line. I think this can be an upset as well. Raiders are also fighting for a playoff spot in the AFC, so give me the Raiders. We got another one here. This is interesting. Bills and Chiefs. The spread right now is Kansas City is -1.5 at Arrowhead. I believe this is primetime CBS. I think Romo is going to be on the call. Kurt.
I'm telling you right now, all I hear are some of these Colorado fans about Russell Wilson don't throw. Russell Wilson is washed. Well, I'm going to say this. You watch number 15. He waddles around a little and he's underhanding, and those numbers are coming down, down, down. You got to pay 50 million. Don't worry about Russell Wilson. Worry about Patrick Mahomes, because that's trouble over there. You got an over the hill tight end that's, he's wobbling, getting the field. The receivers stink. Buffalo beats this team. Kansas City, the one thing I'll give them credit, they basically said, no more, we're not going to sling it around. We're a defensive team, because I don't trust this guy. Talk about mobility in 2-3 years. I don't know how he's going to be getting around. I'm taking Buffalo in the upset.
Kenny.
I'm with Kurt with Buffalo. Kansas City's not right. Buffalo's coming off a bye. Kansas City's still got a cushion. They're not right now. They're behind a couple teams for the number 1 seed, but Buffalo's playing for its playoff lives. I think Buffalo's going to come out in full force. I'm going to take Buffalo in this one.
Joey.
You know what I noticed? I noticed it a lot last year too, and all the time. Kurt picks against teams in his division all the time. That's how he. I hate when he picks the same team as me, because he's going against his division. I don't like it. Let me tell you
there
something.
It is, Kenny.
Let me tell you something. What happened last Sunday night was a bank job robbery by those zebras robbing the Chiefs of that game, and what they did to them. It's out there. They let it be known, and you know what? Kansas City's going to be getting the calls. Give me Patrick at home as a 1.5 point favorite against Pacheco's going to run the ball. He's going to go over 100 yards right down Buffalo's throat. They're gonna beat Buffalo up. I'm sorry. Give me the Chiefs at home. It's a knock off the nonsense. Let's go. Oh, Chiefs Kingdom, baby.
Yeah, as much as I want to take the Chiefs, Joey, I'm gonna have to agree with Kurt and Kenny.
Beautiful.
Mahomes hasn't been Mahomes this season. I think the Bills have way more to lose than the Chiefs do in this game, and a possible head coaching firing candidate if the Bills lose this game. So I think the Bills are going to I don't know if they win, but the 1.5, I'll take the 1.5 with the Bills. Maybe like a last-second field goal comes out by Bucker, but I think
wait till kickoff time. That's going up to 3. I'm telling you right now.
Michael's saying Broncos country always wants the Raiders, Chiefs, and Chargers to lose, of course. Scoops is saying, my Eagles freaked me out with that crappy performance against San Fran. They bleeped the bed at a bad time, but they also played several games in a short period, both on the road or against some elite defenses. Hoping they were just banged up and will get right. But I'm a little unease. As usual, I think Kurt is way extreme there with the you're done with the number 1 seed in the first week in December. That's wild. That's Mr. Scoops.
Nice. We're going to get to Ryan's Eagles in a couple games here. Next one we got is Kurt's boys. We have the Broncos going to LA. The Chargers are a -2.5 point favorite. Boy, the Chargers have been an interesting team this year. Kurt.
Listen, we should have never lost last week. Again, we were never going 11 in a row, but as bad as we played, we were right there with the ball, 8-yard line. First and goal, we didn't get the job done. We'll get the job done this week. Even though they're going to play the Chargers on the road, that place will be 60-70% Bronco fans. Charger fans never show up. We'll get back to running the ball, play defense, let Herbert make mistakes. I'll take my Broncos outright.
Joey.
I loved this game when it was Broncos plus 3.5. Loved them at the 3.5. It's now, it went over that threshold underneath the 2.5. But you know what? What's his name? Keenan. You put Satan on Keenan Allen, and he's banged up. That's it. They got nobody else to throw the ball. What's the running back's name? Eckler?
Yeah.
He's done.
They might bench him, they said this week.
He's got no more legs left.
Please don't do that.
15, what do you have? 15 carries, 35 yards in the last couple of games. You know what? Give me the Broncos. But you better make sure you get it over to the field goal. Invest in it. You don't want to lose by a field goal and you with 2.5 and you're standing on the corner. You know what? Picking your shorts out. You know, go get that hook. Go get the 3.5 with the Broncos.
Kenny.
Simple for me. Brandon Staley will find a way to lose this game for the Chargers by going for it at his own 30, and it'll be the difference in this game. Broncos outright upset, get back on track to that on hopefully another 5-game winning streak for all the Bronco fans.
Jody says Denver 28-13.
Nice. Yeah, I'll go with the Broncos here plus the points. I also like the over under 43.5 in this game. I think this could be a shootout as well. So give me the over as well. I'll go with Kurt's Broncos plus the points though as well.
Don't put that in yet. Don't you wait till I talk to you. Don't put that total in yet.
Okay, I got you, Joey.
All right.
Carson,
we got one more final game, and then we got Monday Night
Football. I was going to say, Carson, before we get to that game, before we forgot one, Jacksonville, Cleveland, and then we'll get to the primetime games.
Oh,
we
I don't know how I
forget
missed
Jacksonville,
that.
Cleveland.
Guys,
no
Mark
problem.
is saying hello.
Who?
Just want to get that one out
Calderia.
there for the people that may be interested in that game. So,
how you doing, Mark?
Mark,
yeah, so going back, we have the Jaguars and the Browns. Browns are a minus 3-point favorite, and Trevor Lawrence is still questionable to play for the Jags. Kurt.
Again, I can't put anything in until I see if Trevor Lawrence is playing. If he's not playing, I will not touch this game. If he is playing, I will take Jacksonville plus the points on the road.
Kenny.
best bet of the week. That's why I wanted to go to this one. You got to take Cleveland. Their defense has been not good the last 2 weeks. Now they're going to either get a banged up Trevor Lawrence or a backup in C.J. Beathard. Laid a mortgage on Cleveland money line this week to win this game, and I'll take them with the spread as well.
Joey,
everybody's knocking the Cleveland defense. Remember last week, their last 2 touchdowns they gave up, it was from the 25-yard line and the 20. It was when the offense had to turn the ball over. So take that 14 points out of the equation. You know what? Even when you're looking at the Rams this week, that's what you got to look at it. Well, how was the point scored? So you know what? He's not playing. And if he is good, it's more better. Give me the Brownies here. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
Doop.
Yeah, I'll also go with the Browns here as well. Going back to Ryan's boys, we have the Eagles coming off a disappointing loss to the 49ers last week. They're going to Dallas, and Dallas is a 3.5-point favorite at home against the current 1 seed Eagles. That's a very interesting line.
Get the total.
It is 51.5.
I need 30 seconds on this. Number one, I am so sick of seeing this guy, Soriani. What's his name? Soriani? Whatever.
Tough guy. He's a tough guy.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. He's fighting on a thing. I saw him in the Super Bowl, 0 adjustments. On Sunday night, and if Sis is watching, this is for Sis. Kyle Shanahan took him behind the barn and gave him a woodshed beating. That is one of the worst coaching jobs all year I saw. I'm so sick. He runs his mouth. He points. He's doing this. You know what? Coach your team. You had no answer on Sunday. Now on the other side, I'm a firm believer in You wait all year or 1 or 2 or 3 years for a game. This is the game. You're home, Dallas. You're at home. You got a wounded Philly team who just got the blank kicked out of them. You're playing for the division lead. You're playing for a possible 1 or 2 seed. If you lose this game, they're done. If the Dallas loses this game, you're done. I don't care about 3.5, 4, money line Dallas. This is the game of the week. They cannot lose this game. If they lose it, it's over, and I'm dead serious. Dak Prescott MVP. If Dak loses this game to that team on Sunday Night Football, I don't want him as the quarterback next year going forward. I wouldn't have him. He has everything going for him. If you can't win this game, they're done. Dallas.
Kenny.
Fired up.
I can't top that one, but I'm going to take Dallas in this one as well. But I can't wait till Wednesday, because if Dallas loses, we get to hear Kurt talk about Dak Prescott.
Oh, I can't lose this game.
We get to hear Kurt go after Scoops again. So it's a win-win situation for me to see who Kurt's going to go after on Wednesday.
It's a carnival
take the Cowboys in this
He's
one.
a carnival barker.
I'm going to take
Cowboys.
I'm going to take the Cowboys because I think the Eagles got a little exposed against. I'm sorry.
A little
They
exposed.
got exposed on Sunday
A little.
against the 49ers.
The
That's what I
Niners
meant to
just
say.
scored
I was
again
catching
on
up.
them. The Niners scored again on them.
Joey.
Oh, my God.
You know what? I'm taking the Eagles in this spot plus the 3.5. This is a division game. It's time they're going to get back a little bit. I think Hurts looked a little better healthy wise than he did the game before. Even though they ran into a freight train. You know what I'm talking about? They ran into a big freight train with the 49ers. What's his name? Magic Mike. He just got the appendix busted on him, so he might be on. He's coming back to the sidelines on Saturday. And I think the coach for the Eagles is smart enough, and he's going to regroup. Give me the Birds here, plus the 3.5. And here's take the under in this spot. Divisional games on the rematch. They've seen each other couple, especially within 4 weeks. That's an under game. Go under the 52, under 51.5 here.
Yeah, I'm with Joey as well. I'm going to take the Eagles plus 3.5. I just can't see the Eagles losing back-to-back games, especially like you said, Joey, a divisional opponent, prime time on Sunday Night Football. And the winner of this game could potentially win MVP, Hurts or Prescott. So this is going to be a really interesting matchup. But yeah, 3.5 with the current 1 seed in the NFC. Give me that all day long.
One more thing. You know what? The Eagles are more physical than the Cowboys.
We got 2 more games on Monday Night Football, guys. Doubleheader. We got the Titans and the Dolphins and the Packers and Giants. We'll go Packers and Giants first. Packers are a minus 6.5 point favorite on the road to Kenny's New York Football Giants. Kurt.
You know what? I'm buying a point, and I'm taking Kenny's Giants. I think the Giants can win this game. I really do. Again, 6.5 points. Like, I know they won in Detroit. Again, Detroit didn't play well at all Thanksgiving, and they still had a shot to win that game. They played well versus Kansas City at home, but 6.5 point favorite. I mean, is Rodgers playing this? Mark saying G-Men, baby? I mean, come on. I'm taking the Giants in 7.5.
Joey.
Give me Tommy Big Z all day long. Wait till this game gets to 7. If you want to take the Giants, do it like what Kurt says, invest in, either marry it with somebody else, but get to that 7. Make sure you get to 7 or just 7.5. Packers got given a gift last week by the Zebras. So, give me G-Men right here with Tommy Big Z.
And Kenny.
I'm with the boys. I'm going, and Mark, you're going to like this. I'm going to take the Giants as well. I think we're going to possibly get another win, 3 in a row. But our defense has been playing great, guys. I mean, all joking aside, we may have, because it's too early to tell, we may have a lockdown corner in Deontay Banks.
Oh, he's good.
And, he's been shutting everybody down. Mm-hmm. And, we may have one. And I expect the same against Green Bay. And I expect Kayvon Thibodeau and the defensive front to get to Jordan Love, create a turnover or 2, and we get the outright victory. But getting 6 to 7 points in this game, steal.
Kenny, Mark is saying Mark Jr. is a Green Bay fan, and he said Green Bay's going to win. Little turmoil in that house on Monday night.
Where's Mark Jr.? Does Mark Jr. get to watch that game next to Mark Sr. on Monday night?
That's the question.
You go tell them, go right next door into the building and put a bet in on it. I take it. Right there. FanDuel's right in next door. Hey.
Yeah, speaking of FanDuel, put on the slip, guys. We all agree with this one. Give me the G-Men plus 6.5 as well. We got one more final game. We have the Titans and the Dolphins. Dolphins are a minus 13-point favorite at home. Joey.
Wow. You know what? I hate to lay it, but I can't see Tennessee moving the ball at all because Miami's defense is sneaky, getting better and better, and improving. They got a legit defense there. Monday night, the lights are shining. Best player in football. Give me the fish. I'll lay the 13.5. They win by 2 touchdowns. They're running a track meet down there.
Kurt.
Yeah, I'm with him. I mean, I know it's a lot of points, but if you got the Titans in 13 points and you're like, okay, it's 7-0 or 10-0, I mean, you're starting to shake because I don't know. I'm with Clams. You got to lay the 13 points. It's a lot, but I think they win.
Hey, we were on the Titans last week. They got 2 punts blocked.
Yeah. Wow. And that cost them the game.
Yeah, they were up by 20 to 17. They were winning 20 to 7. It was
There's the confirmation.
There it is.
Kenny.
Junior's watching it in his room, and Senior's going to be in the living room.
Hey, Junior, I see you at FanDuel.
What do you think, Kenny?
I'm going to go Dolphins as well. I think, I mean, look what they did earlier. At home, they're a different animal. I mean, it's Monday night, so that the weather is not going to put in too much of a factor. There's not going to be any sun, but Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua is just going to throw the ball up to them. They'll get by the secondary. And when you push people back in the secondary, what are you going to do? You're going to run A-Chain and Mostert, who's having a Pro Bowl year, I think leading vote getter in the AFC running backs for Pro Bowl. So I don't like laying big wood, but I'm going to lay it in this spot.
I disagree with you guys. This is a similar game a couple weeks ago where Dolphins were, I think, a 12 or a 13-point favorite against the Raiders. Raiders almost won that game. Again, DeAndre Hopkins, Derrick Henry. I like Vrabel as the coach. Double digits in the NFL, Joey. It is a tough pill to swallow to cover. So,
hey, you know what?
Give me the Titans plus 13. Principal. Joey taught me that.
Good capping. What you did, you said so it was the same spot a couple of weeks ago. That's good capping. But I just seen this Tennessee team. Boy, woof.
Yeah. All right. That is all the NFL games, guys, on the slate. Good job. We're going to move right along here. We have a couple of awards, season awards. We have MVP. We got Comeback Player of the Year. And then we also have our picks for who do we think is going to come out of the college football playoff. So I'll kind of go around the table, ask you guys your thoughts. Kenny gave me the lines and the sheets, so I'll kind of run them off. I think this is by draft. Is this DraftKings, Kenny, or did you get it?
DraftKings. I just did some popular names up there.
Okay, sure. So the top 3 right now is Brock Purdy. He's 3-1. Dak Prescott is plus 350, and Hurts is also plus 350. And then you got other names like Tua, which he's almost 9-1. Mahomes is 9-1. Lamar is 9-1. A couple interesting value plays. Usually it goes to a quarterback, but if you're looking for position players, Tyreek Hill 16-1, Christian McCaffrey 16-1. Really, really, really long shot is TJ Watt. I like how you put that on there, Kenny. And then CJ Stroud, the phenomenal rookie, he's 30-1. So who do you guys think is going to be the MVP at the end of the year? Kurt.
This is tough, man. I don't understand why it always has to be a quarterback. I really don't. I mean, just looking at it, you said 16-1 on McCaffrey. I mean, that's the guy that makes everything go. He's just showing you how he's one of obviously the best back, but one of the best, players in the NFL. But out of that list, I guess you got to go Purdy, right? I think I agree with you. I think it's an elimination game this week between Dak and Hurts. I think the loser is out. the winner still has a shot. But I'm going to go Purdy because they're going to win. I think they're going to get the 1 seed. And I think that's going to matter because, he was hurt a couple games. I'm going to say Purdy.
Kenny, who do you got for your MVP?
I'm going to give you I'm going to give you a pick and a long shot. I'm going to go Lamar Jackson. I think if the Ravens come out atop of that AFC North bounce back year, was hurt last year, gets that team into the playoffs with possibly the 1 seed. I like the value at 9-1, my long shot. Well, you know what? I'll save a long shot for when everybody's done in case somebody has him already picked. I don't want to steal thunder. So I'll take Lamar Jackson, but I do have a long shot play after everybody goes.
Joey, who do you got for your MVP?
I think my MVP is Tyreek Hill because he's the best player in football.
Mm-hmm.
He's a game changer. He's unstoppable. You can't stop him. He's on the field. He's unstoppable. When you go on that field, we can't stop him.
Mm-hmm.
He's unstoppable. And I'm going to tell you something else. Nobody's talking about. You know who's real MVP is Trent Williams.
Yep.
Trent Williams. Without him, there's no Purdy for MVP. There's no McCaffrey at 16-1 for MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Carson, can I ask you something, Carson?
Sure.
Do you think Clams has the best shirt that's ever been worn as a host on this shirt? What do you think?
I love it. He's a player. The Playboy Mansion, baby.
Oh, you know what? This is it's B&B brand. They got that show on it's on what do you call Prime. It's called The Gravesend. They filmed
nice.
it. Yeah, they filmed it in my old neighborhood over there where Rudy lived and stuff. So they came out with these shirts years ago, and they finally put it's out on Prime right now. It's called Gravesend.
Nice.
Scoop is saying, did Kurt's brain melt when you said Lamar? Again, the MVP, what does it mean? No, it means nothing.
Yeah.
Lamar's season and Dak's season, they really don't count into the postseason. If Lamar don't get you to a Super Bowl, it's a waste of a year. Same thing with Dak with those two teams.
If Purdy just stays the way he is, he's going to probably win it. But I think the best player in the league is Tyreek Hill and Trent Williams. If you don't have a left tackle like that, you ain't going nowhere.
Not true. Jody's saying should be McCaffrey, but I think Dak gets it if the Cowboys win. Noah is saying, I hope this is the year a non-quarterback wins it. This year is the best chance for it. If Tyreek gets the 2,000 yards, he 100% deserves it. I agree.
Yeah, and Joey,
what's up, Noah? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Noah. Noah's a good friend. Back in the day, we worked together back at the hospital.
Thank you, Noah.
Thanks for all the
and I work with his girlfriend Morgan right now, so they're probably both watching.
How you doing? Hey, Morgan.
Yeah, and Joey was basically reading what I was going to say. You know, you've got guys that are impact players in the 49ers, and Trent Williams, I mean, he makes Purdy look great. McCaffrey makes him look great. I mean, you got Kyle Shanahan, who's one of the best coaches in the NFL, calling the plays, Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. I mean, Purdy's great, don't get me wrong, but yeah, is it a popularity contest? We're just going to give the trophy to the team that has the best record, give it to the quarterback, or do you give it to the guy who is unstoppable this year? And I couldn't agree more. You know, it's Tyreek Hill by far, especially if he hits 2,000 yards, never been done before in the history of the NFL. He should get the trophy.
He should, Carson. He should. You're right.
One more thing, Carson. You know what? 2 weeks ago, Purdy was 35-1, and last week he was 17-1 before that game. So now he was getting disrespected.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting disrespected until now. Now that everybody's seen the way he runs, he runs that machine. Mm-hmm. But he needs those people there, like any other quarterback.
You know what, Carson? Another thing with Tyreek Hill is just there's nobody else that's even like him. You know, he's just such a, like Purdy, you could say, just like you said, throw somebody behind that Niner team and, they're going to keep rolling. But there's nobody. The guys, you can't cover him one-on-one. He's so fast.
He's having a Michael Jordan year.
Yep.
And
he's got to be the MVP.
Purely skill and athleticism. I mean, the guy's 5'10". I mean, he's not a very tall guy. He just speed kills, and you can't coach that. I mean, it's just
what happens, Kirk? Hey, Carson, Kirk, and Kenny, what happens if Miami maybe comes out with the number 1 seed in the AFC?
I agree.
They're going to be tough to beat at home.
Yeah.
I agree, man. I think, like Carson said too, something that's never been done. When you do something like that, it should just, that's the award. I mean, how can you get better than that? You know, you did something no one ever did.
Right.
So
That's
I
what the
agree.
MVP is, you know.
Yeah. So good thoughts,
And
guys.
Noah's saying there's also the argument any quarterback could succeed
Yeah.
with that 49ers team.
Well, let me tell you something. Purdy is the right guy for that. He's got it. He doesn't miss a step. Remember, he played 42 games of college. He played 4 years of college. Look, you can see the experience. He's got game experience. That's what this game is. This is what the NFL is missing. They're missing quarterbacks that are playing 3 or 4 years. They got, look what Zach Wilson. What happened? Look what the 49ers with their when
Trey Lance.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, hey, there's our good friend Manny DeLima, and he's saying his Cowboys win by 10. Manny, listen, go back to say what I said. I am all over the Cowboys this week. I think must win. They will win, and I think they beat up on. Listen, they've been waiting years for this game. Years.
Put the bird seat out.
Let's go, Cowboys. Let's go.
Yeah.
Everything revolves around the Cowboys this week in FanDuel land. Let's go. Let's go.
Nice. So yeah, that was our MVP.
And that was my long shot, by the way, Carson.
Yep.
Tyreek was going to be my long shot.
Yeah, I mean 16-1. I mean, if you go get value on Tyreek Hill, 16-1. If he gets 2,000 yards, it doesn't win the MVP. It proves that the NFL is a popularity contest. It goes to the quarterback with the best team. Tyreek Hill gets 2,000 yards.
Never been done.
Breaks Calvin's record. Give him the trophy. It's the most valuable player in the NFL. You can't stop this guy, like Joey said. So I would get value right now on Tyreek Hill. I'm going to do that right now. 16-1, 2,000 yards. Give him the trophy. I mean,
right there with you.
Yeah, so that's MVP.
And you know what, Carson? You know why you make a lot of sense too with that? Because think about it, just like we're saying, Dak and what's his name, Hurts, right? Obviously, those odds, they're going to lose out. Whoever loses is out. So now Tyreek Hill is going to be shorter, right? Who else is up for there? You know what I'm saying? Somebody else slides down Tyreek Hill. You're not going to get Tyreek Hill at 16-1 in 2-3 weeks. It's just going to keep going down and down.
And if he puts up like say 135 yards on Monday night and 2 touchdowns, what that number is going to come down? It's going to come down to 7-1, 6-1. He's going to be right in there.
Kenny, ask Jody's question to me on air.
Jody's asking, Kurt, are you on the Dak train?
Absolutely.
For those who don't know, Kurt has always been down on Dak.
I am 100% down on Dak, but Dak, just don't do anything stupid. You know what? Run it 40 times, play defense, throw it to CD Lamb a little bit, but I don't want him throwing the ball. And let's go, Cowboys. Beautiful Sunday night. And Jen's checking in with the clap, Kenny. Let's go. Let's go this week. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, but go get that value on Tyreek Hill. Unfortunately, there's enough. The awards are weird. They have the MVP and then the Offensive Player of the Year. So Hill's the favorite currently for the Offensive Player of the Year. So I think they're going to screw him out of the MVP. But MVP is the value right there with Tyreek Hill, 16-1. If you think he's going to get 2,000 yards, I think he gets it, or at least he should. So that's the MVP discussion. We got Comeback Player of the Year. There's a couple guys on the list. I said it from day one. It's going to be DeMar Hamlin. I mean, the guy literally almost died on the football field last year. I know he hasn't played a lot. I think he played a couple snaps, still getting into the football routine. But I mean, this award, by the way, the awards that these guys are getting, it's based on a specific committee, I think. So, the players don't really have a say in it, or the fans. And I think, I don't see how DeMar doesn't win this award. So he's my Comeback Player of the Year. Another couple guys, Tua's plus 280, Russell Wilson, Kurt's guy, he's 10-1. And then you got Dobbs, which is kind of interesting, 30-1. If he kind of, plays out of his mind the next couple of games, he might crawl up in the standings. But who do you guys think is your Comeback Player of the Year? Kenny?
Yeah, Carson, I'm with you with Hamlin, but for some strange reason, if they don't give it to Hamlin, because some people may say he hasn't played much, I got to go with Dobbs. or no, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go with Dobbs at 30-1. Started the season with the Cardinals, became the long shot quarterback over there. Did okay over there, and now's got traded to the Vikings. And especially if he gets the Vikings into the playoffs, that could be at least maybe a couple, a couple sprinkles on jobs for comeback player of the year at 30-1.
Mm-hmm. Kurt, who do you think's comeback player of the year?
I think I agree with you. I think that's going to happen. Hamlin's going to win that just because it is. But if it's not that, it's tough. What'd you say Tua was?
Plus 280.
He did have a bad injury last year too.
Concussions, right?
Yeah.
With the concussions. I mean, on the field, it shouldn't be. And let's be honest, it shouldn't be. But I just think the story, like Carson said, I mean, we've never seen this in football before, and thank God, everything is good the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he will win it.
Joey.
Yeah, probably like what you're saying. I mean, the guy was lifeless, and now he's with the boys in the locker room, and he's on the sidelines every day. He got in on special teams, and he was in on that overtime too in the Philly game. Isn't there a player that came back from cancer?
I haven't heard that yet.
Somebody was saying about today that he's playing and he came back from cancer.
Not Crosby. Was Crosby from the Raiders? No, I'm thinking.
I'll look it up. I'll see what I can find.
Yeah, well,
I'll get back to you on that, Joe.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go the same way. I mean,
well, I got one. How about Keith, our great friend Keith Brugman from the Denver Bronco Roundup, saying Aaron Rodgers, if he comes back for comeback player,
he ain't coming back. You know what? Listen, that's a joke over there. That's the biggest joke in sports is the New York Jets. Joke. What's going on? Did you heard that Saleh and Joe Beningo text back and forth? Joe Beningo says to Saleh, "You got to go back to Sanchez." He goes, "Joe, you serious? I don't want to." Beningo tells Boomer Esiason that he read him the text on the radio that what Saleh said.
All right. Well, I'm going to go to Carson on this because Carson's obviously not from this area, and Joe, you're a Jet fan, but I heard this yesterday. It was on New York radio. I don't remember if it was whoever it was, but basically they were talking about like what to do and stuff like that. And 3 guys basically just said, listen, they're in bed with Aaron Rodgers now. Basically, Aaron Rodgers will have final say on what players come back next year, what coaches come back, who the head coach will be. Do you think that is what they should do, Carson, since they're so far deep in with Rodgers? Listen, they could lose the rest of the games, right?
Yeah.
Let get blown out. But if he says, I want Hackett staying and Saleh staying, he's staying. Do you think Rodgers should run this team, run this organization for the next 2 years?
Yeah. I'm afraid to speak because I think Joey's going to explode.
I listen. Nobody big. Carson,
yeah,
I mean, 58 yesterday.
You can't blame this entire season on Robert Saleh. I mean, the first play of the game, you lose your best player. I mean, how do you regroup from that? I mean, with any NFL team, Chiefs lose Pat Mahomes. Any other team, if you lose your starting quarterback in the first 30 seconds of the game, you can't 100% point the finger and it's all Robert Saleh's fault. And he's dealing with arguably the worst second string quarterback in the NFL right now in Zach Wilson. And it's not like the Jets defense is bad. I mean, the Jets defense has won them a couple games this year alone. So, if Rodgers wants to go that route and say, hey, I'll come back for this little hurrah and then maybe take a little, position in the front office or something like that. But you can't 100% blame this on Saleh.
But Carson, they're actually saying like it's going to be to the point where Rodgers is going to make that first round pick. Like if they like a quarterback and he wants a tackle, they're picking that quarterback. Like Randall Cobb, who's not even playing. Like if he wants Cobb back, Cobb's coming back. Lazard's coming back. Like basically he's going to build the roster. He's doing everything.
Yeah, they're going to have one last hurrah. I think Devontae Adams comes to the Jets in the offseason. Rodgers will be back. They got one last shot and then a Super Bowl. And then, Rodgers say, hey, look at, another franchise quarterback possibly to take me over. Because he's 41 years old? I mean,
40.
He's got 1 or 2 years left maybe. So Yeah, I agree. I think he should stay around the game and do that.
Kenny, I got some comments before we get to Clams. Noah's saying, I still believe in Dobbs, especially he's getting Jefferson back. Noah's also saying the coach, Chuck Pagano, maybe Joe, that's who you were thinking about with the cancer. Noah's also saying probably the deal they made to get Rodgers in the first place. Our good friend Eddie Murphy saying Giants win by 3. Book it, boys. And Eddie is also saying Jets shouldn't have put a rookie head coach with a rookie quarterback, or at least gone with an offensive mind head coach. Keith is saying, what about Kyler Murray?
His odds are
Comeback
up there.
player of the year.
I think he's 40-1 or 50-1, if I'm not mistaken, Keith. He was on the list. I didn't put him on.
Yeah.
And then Eddie's also saying, just had a chicken parm with vodka sauce on garlic bread in honor of Tommy Cutlets.
Nice.
Nice.
Salute.
Yeah, so those are the 2 awards, guys, that we were talking about, comeback player of the year and MVP. Again, man, you think Tyreek Hill is going to get 2,000 yards. I mean, the value 16-1 right now, you got to jump on it because especially if the Dolphins get the 1 seed too. I mean, that odds, I think he might be tied for best odds before the last week of the season. So Tyreek Hill value play 100% for MVP. We're going to go into our college football champion, guys. Obviously, the playoffs were announced on Sunday. Really quickly, we didn't get Joey Clams' opinion on this. Joey, did Florida State get screwed?
Absolutely. You know what? 2 weeks ago, even before the quarterback was hurt, they got a shot of Herbstreit saying, I don't think Florida State's going to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, they didn't want Florida State in it. They wanted the name brands in there.
Yeah.
That's what they want. They got to sell it. Florida State, they did what they had to do. They won. They won every game, and they won the championship. Listen, the second string quarterback, you got 3.5 weeks to work with him. He would have fit right in. What's the difference of, who are these people to pick the team and say, well, they're not going to win. That's what the suckers do. And who loses every week? The suckers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it's an invitational. Just say it's an invitational. It's not a playoff. How does a team win every single game and then they get sent home? Playoffs, when you win, you move on. When you lose, you go home.
Yep.
They
had to get an SEC team in there. They had to.
Mm-hmm.
Rapid fire. I'll start with Carson. This is from our good friend Anthony Mataloni. Where's Belichick coaching next year?
Oh, wow. Panthers.
Kenny.
Chargers.
Clams.
I was here in the Commanders, Washington.
Okay. Another question, yes or no? Carson, we'll do rapid fire. If Tyreek Hill would have picked the Jets instead of the Dolphins for that trade, would he have made Zach Wilson look great, or would he have still been dog blank?
No, somebody's got to throw him the ball. Like, Tyreek can't throw himself the ball. So Tua's been doing a phenomenal job, and that's why he's, in the MVP odd race too. I mean, he's not high up there, but he's in the race. So you got to have somebody throw him the ball. So no, if Zach Wilson, it would be 100% way worse.
Kenny, what's your thoughts on that?
Agree 100% with Carson. Zach Wilson.
And
Tyreek he'd have an okay year, but nothing like this.
And Paul Clams, what about you? Would it help Zach Wilson at all? Would he be the same player, Tyreek Hill, or not?
It's the offensive line first. You can't protect the quarterback. He ain't getting a shot. And then you go next, the quarterback, he doesn't know how to play the game. And what the guy's making the point is with the MVP probably is why they're so popular. Without the quarterback, he doesn't get the ball. They can argue that too.
One more quick hitter. Our good friend Keith Brugman, he's saying when if ever does the Heisman go to a non-quarterback, and what position is most likely?
Keithy.
Devontae Smith, I think, won in 3 years ago? Was he the last non-quarterback to win?
Yeah,
the last one, yeah.
2020. So if there's another position, if it's not quarterback, usually what do you think it is, Carson?
You caught me with water. Maybe a defensive end. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson was a finalist a couple of years ago. Chase Young was in the mix when he was at Ohio State. So I think a defensive end could be it.
Kenny.
wide receiver gets hurt by the quarterbacks, but I'll say another offensive position, running back. You can probably get a running back to have a monster year. Could be the position you get Heisman.
And Clams.
I'm looking for a defensive player, like to win one time, like what Carson was saying. I like to see a defensive player win it, but you know what? The world's a fantasy world, so everything's done like what fantasy's done by.
Matt Aloney's saying Charles Woodson, and he's saying Woodson beat Peyton Manning. That was wild. Michael Ronquillo is saying great show, guys, and a fun show. Thank you, Michael. Keith is saying I would love to see a running back hoist the Heisman again. So yeah, I'll watch that Saturday night. So I'll be watching it.
Daniels is going to win because he put up, all those numbers, video game numbers.
6-3 though.
Kurt, we got one more pick for everybody, and then quick bets to wrap the show up.
Okay.
Yeah. So rapid fire, guys. I mean, who do you have as your champ going forward? Odds are Michigan's the favorite, plus 185. Bama's plus 200. Texas is plus 250. And Kenny and I like Washington at plus 750. So who's the champ? Joey.
I'm gonna go with you, Dub. And you know what? You know who the Heisman Trophy should go to is Penix.
Yep.
He did what he had to do to win all those games, and you know what? He beat Oregon as a favorite, no respect, and then he was a 10-point dog and beat them outright. You know what? I like you, Dub. They're going to be rested. They're going to be refueled up. Give me you, Dub. Give me Huskies.
It's kind of crazy, too, how the second-ranked team has the worst odds also. I find that very interesting as well. Kenny, I know who you're going.
Yeah, we went with Washington yesterday. I just wish I would have pulled the trigger a couple of weeks ago, Carson, when you announced on your Clams and Claws show with Joey on Saturdays that they were 27-1, and I didn't pull the trigger on that. But right now you're getting them at 7.5-1, which is still good odds.
I think the winner of that game wins the national championship. I think UW or Texas wins it.
Nice. And Kurt, you still going Michigan?
I'm still going Michigan. If I was to really say for value, I would go Texas because I think Bama and Michigan. Listen, that game is going to be an unbelievable battle. I think Texas does beat Washington, so now I'm saying, okay, I think Texas is going to get to the championship. Michigan, might not beat Bama, to get there, but I'm still going to go Michigan. Listen, I want to see them. I think they're determined. I think they've been the best team all year. I think they got the best coach in Harbaugh. I'm going to go Michigan.
They didn't play anybody.
They played Ohio State.
That's it.
You know what the crazy thing is?
Don't ever mention Penn State because Penn State hasn't won a big game since 1986 with Jimmy Johnson and Vinny Testaverde.
The crazy thing, I was looking at this last night. Ohio State has the best loss out of any of those four teams in the playoff. They lost to the number one team in Michigan. Texas and Bama have worse losses. So why is Ohio State out?
Right. I know.
Yeah.
Think about it. In reality, the best four teams, let's be honest. If you had to say who are the best four teams, you would say Michigan, Georgia, Alabama, and I'm going to say, listen, either Texas or Ohio State. I mean, Washington's not one of the best four teams. I'm sorry, they're not. They're just
Kurt. How is Michigan?
But somebody said the other day, Clams, that before this came out, that if Georgia played Washington in the playoff game, there would be a 14 to 17 point favorite. I'm sorry, you're not the best team in the country if you're a 17-point underdog. It's just,
you know what? They were 10-point dogs last week and then went outright, bro.
Let the playoffs do the talking, and we'll have a nice little fun show, and we find out who the champ is. That's how I look at it.
Here's
we got
the thing.
People that like Michigan, we got people that like Alabama, we got people
Alabama
that like Texas.
had Texas chained to their leg. If Alabama got in, they had to bring Texas with them.
Of course.
Because they had to do that. So they had to get the SC team in there.
Yeah, as soon as Bama upset Georgia, Florida State was screwed.
But you can't play. You can't do that. You play when you win, you move on. That's how you play the game. How all of a sudden, good wins don't count, but bad losses count.
Well, real quick, what bothers me is
I got it backwards.
What bothers me is Is the NFL taking the Bengals out of the playoffs if Browning gets them to the playoffs? No.
Jeff
You took
Hostetler won
Florida
the
State
Super
out
Bowl.
of the playoffs because a kid got hurt. That's the bad thing about
I
this.
just think it's a cop out, Kenny. They had to say something, like, listen, you're not gonna. How could you, in all seriousness, the SEC is the best conference in football. You could argue
What,
about all
last year?
they're the
This year
best
that just
conference in
passed?
football.
Not
They
this
are.
year. Not
They
this
are.
year. Not this year.
Kurt's opening up arguments to make the show go to
Kurt,
9 o'clock.
Not this year. How was their record? How was their record out of conference this year?
Again, if you give me, hey, let's play two.
How was their record out of conference? They
Again,
played
I'm not
another.
looking at but
How
you're
come the
looking
losses don't
you're
count
looking
with
at
the
like
SEC?
Ole Miss out of. I don't care about those out of
LSU,
conference games.
LSU lost out of conference. Florida lost out of conference a couple
We're
of
going to
games.
see.
Alabama
we got
lost
Big
out
Ten,
of
we got
conference.
Pac-12, we got
It
Big
doesn't
12,
matter.
and we
It's
got
not the
SEC.
conferences. You guys got to stop with conferences. It's each individual team. Please stop.
No,
with
you
that.
Right,
gotta let
but
me
when you
finish.
go,
And here's another thing. How
We're
come
gonna
the SEC only plays 8 conference games?
Kenny, I'm going to
Everybody else plays
ask Kenny one question, Kenny, because you always come on the high school show, right? In all seriousness, you always come on the high school show. And what do you always say about DePaul and Bosco? And what do you always say about them, Kenny? Be honest.
What do I say about who? DePaul and Bosco?
DePaul, Bosco. What do you always say on the show?
That they're the
You
best.
can't look at the record because every week they're playing, like a top 10 opponent, a top 10 opponent, a top 10 opponent.
No, they're not. They only play 8 conference games. And you know what? No disrespect to Kenny. I could care what Kenny thinks about that. But if he's talking
Joe
about
jumped the gun because he didn't let me finish. My point I was making, Joe, is we're going to see who's the best conference. We're going to see if it's the Big Ten. We're going to see if it's the SEC. We're going to see if it's the Big 12 or the Pac-12 by who becomes champion this year. And then we could say this was the best conference. This conference this year alone, I think it was the Pac-12 from top to bottom. I'm not talking about the teams at the top. I'm talking all around. I think the Pac-12 was the best conference this year.
They were.
And you jumped the gun and started. You thought I was.
Okay, my apology.
No, I'm kidding. Want to get closing thoughts in, Kurt?
Yeah, let's get closing thoughts. I'll go first. Again.
Oh no, wait. Yeah, do your best bet in closing thoughts.
All right, best bet is money line Cowboys Sunday night. They have to win this game. This game is like a 2 and 3 year game in the waiting for them. If they lose this game, forget about them. And I'm serious. It could be like franchise changing stuff. If Dak don't play good, McCarthy gets beat. They have to win this game. So I'm going Dallas. Again, enjoy the games. Sunday NFL action. Let's go Broncos. But again, Saturday, 3 o'clock, Army Navy. You got to watch it. It's best game in college football. Let's go to Clams.
Best bet: Eagles plus 3.5.
There you go.
Sunday. Eagles plus 3.5. They get back. They're gonna be more physical. Better. I think the better coach is with Philly. Cowboys coach just got his appendix out, so he's going to be double handicapped in that game. So give me Eagles plus the 3.5, and a great, like Kurt just said, Army Navy. It's a tradition. You got to watch it. Doesn't matter what their records are. Sometimes they're both pretty good, but it's a great atmosphere and everything like that. My friend's son played in it a couple of years ago. He played for Navy. James Munson played for Navy. So good luck to those guys on Saturday.
Eddie's asking what channel. I think he's talking about Army Navy. It's channel 2. Michael's saying, Carson, here we go. Broncos Lions play Saturday night next week, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, Michael, listen to Kurt 8 p.m. Mountain Time.
Wednesday
Carson's
night.
a Lions fan, so it's going to be
Carson's on,
nice
baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, Carson, final thoughts.
Yeah, great show as always, boys. Looking forward to the games this weekend. Shout out again to Army and Navy. That'll be an awesome game. We're all fans of that game, no matter who wins. And have a good rest of your weekend. Best bet. I'll throw out the Colts money line. I like the Colts, and then value play right now. Tyreek Hill 16-1 for MVP.
There you go, beautiful.
And Mr. K, final words, Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Got a little like the heated debates at the end, but we were running short on time. So maybe we could start doing one or maybe a topic each week with the just being NFL and a couple bowl games. Maybe we'll do like a 15-minute topic for Joey Clams to get heated up each week. I think that'll be fun. But my best bets.
It's easy.
I got the Browns
It's
money.
easy too.
Browns money line. I'm going to take the Falcons money line, and then 2 underdogs. I'm going with the Patriots plus the 6, and then my outright upset is going to be my Giants on Monday night.
Good one.
Hey, what about our show? The Clams and Claws Army. We've been on. Carson, tell them the heated. We've been on with the ice, with the pucks and the totals in every sport. Every sport total. We're on the heater. NFL too. College football, we got smacked around. We got to admit that. When we get smacked, we got smacked. But the totals and the hockey, we're on a fire. And that's in the NFL too. Let's go.
Love it.
Great compliment by Keith. I'm betting on the K&K Sports Show and Wits and Wagers. Always a winner. Thanks for that compliment, Keith. And again, check out Keith and the boys, Denver Bronco Roundup every Tuesday night. Carson's going to be on Wednesday with Kurt, Keith. So definitely turn into that because we know Carson's a big Lions fan.
Excited
one of
for
the
that.
biggest around. So it'll be a good show.
Thanks
for always hanging out with us, Keith.
All right, boys. Have a good night.
See you guys.
We'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the game.